How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having the best day ever. Today we are taking a look at how you can get over 23,000 Capital Peak Gold from hitting some oddball Skeleton Parks and Capital Peaks. So let's jump right into the first attempt at a Capital Peak. Trying to do these very quickly and on the fly. So minimal planning, but still we were almost able to get the whole Capital Peak in 3 hits. So here we are using in my opinion, the best strategy in the attempt to 3-shot a Capital Peak, which is the Sneaky Archers and the Rams with a couple of Rages. The goal being to try and clear a path to the Capital Peak with the hopes in sending a P.E.K.K.A. later on to take it out and to try and get a rage on some of these higher hit point defenses in order to take them out quickly. So here I always like to come from the off angle of the starting position. A lot of times there are a lot of traps on the approach to the Capital Peak. So here we destroyed a couple of buildings on the side, which open up the deployment zone to the back. And now we have the rage down and are just dropping in a few archers every now and then to try and take out the defenses. Always have to wait for that Capital Peak shot to come down, otherwise if you deploy troops, they will just instantly die. And the Capital Peak, I think, does the most damage, the most splash damage for sure, to all your troops. So it is nasty. And that is where the sneaky archers do come in very clutch. So they're able to stay invisible to not get directly targeted right away. Just getting towards the end of the attack here. Gonna start to deploy archers a little bit more rapidly to try and take out the defenses. The only thing with the sneaky archers is that you do have to be mindful of your time and to try and get as much value as you can. So now we have cleared out that section with all the important defenses, the blast bow and the rocket artillery. We're now setting up for the next attack to try and take out the Inferno. Now once the Inferno is taken out, we can send in a P.E.K.K.A. and a lot of times it will be able to take out the Capital Peak on its own. It is a little bit different that I found this week with a centralized Capital Peak. There are still a bunch of defenses around it, so the P.E.K.K.A. does not quite get as much value as I had thought. Here we are just deploying the archers, some to the bottom left, some to the top side of the base to clear out some defenses. And we have rages everywhere. Except for one little spot that we didn't overlap, which is kind of funny that that's where the archers decide to stand. Now we've gotten close enough and we got the Inferno taken out, so now it's just a matter of clearing out the other defenses on the approach so that P.E.K.K.A. doesn't get distracted and wander around the base. You never want your big damaging troops to go wandering off where you don't want them to. It's never very fun for the attack. So we have a decent amount of the base cleared out, but now you're going to see how I attempt to finish it on the third hit. I thought by switching to air with some skeletons with the P.E.K.K.A. that the troops would have a good time. And use a couple pack of archers, take out those air bombs, and then while the rocket artillery is distracted, you know, sneak in some rocket balloons. So now we get the P.E.K.K.A down, and we're dropping in the balloons. However, there are, you know, more than one air targeting defense per pack of balloons left. And we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 left, and we only have 3 packs. So we drop 2 on the Tesla, drop 1 on the Rapid Rockets. However, there's 1 more air defense that we did not have enough troops for, unfortunately. That is sometimes how it goes, but unfortunately, we do end up time failing because we only have 1 balloon left, which is kind of funny. So we're not going to watch the end of this one. Very sad, very heartbreaking. But now we're going to jump into a sneaky hit on this Capital Peak. It was a finishing blow, and there were 5,000 points to be had. So every so often you'll see that your clanmates, you know, they might mess up or they might run out of attacks while attacking a base. So if you can see some weaknesses in the base, then a lot of times you can get a lot of extra points. You might be able to get somewhere between 25 and even 30,000 at Capital Peak level 8. So here I noticed that the Capital Peak is fairly low, so I'm mostly taking it down with archers. And then there's only this crusher, the multi-mortar, and the giant cannon for splash damage on the base. So we send in some hogs on the right hand side, drop a heal, and then distract this giant cannon as well as stun it. And when there is not a whole lot of splash damage for the ground, the hogs can do a very, very nice job of cleaning up the base. So now all the defenses are down, and it is just a matter of a lot of cleanup. Fast forward through it. It was actually kind of interesting. The defender had a bunch of bombs on the backside of the base. Might have been able to see some of the hogs were getting hit and actually lost a little bit of the bonus gold. But I was able to get 5,090 plus 60. So now we only have 2 attacks left. And so when you don't have too many attacks left, it is a good idea to use it on the Skeleton Park, since it usually is the weakest district still. So here we are doing a cleanup attack from one of my other accounts, trying to just push the raid along, get all the attacks done, and not have to think about the armies too much. So we're able to get this right side in the middle of the base sort of taken out, and then we have the rest of our troops being deployed on this left side. Unfortunately, I did not realize that there are not really any more wall sections on the left-hand side of the base, so all these rams are just wandering randomly, which is kind of funny. But our left side army does end up dying out, but the troops that were able to push through the core with the help of the skeletons were able to take out that section of the base. And even some skeletons were able to take out this wizard tower, which is kind of crazy. Last bomb tower goes down, so no more splash damage, so we are in the clear, unless there were a bunch of giant bombs and bombs next to this last trash building. But we hit 3,720 plus 73. And then last but not least is another Skeleton Park. Had to try and find a way to use the last attack. So we try and set up the Skeleton Park so that someone else can finish it very, very easily. We're also trying out the Flying Fortress. So we kind of spread out the skeleton spells, because there's not going to be, or the graveyard spells, because there's not going to be too many things dying, and the Flying Fortress is mostly going to tank for the balloons. But you'll see how much we're able to get in this one attack. It's kind of crazy. So we're just waiting for the Flying Fortress to get in range. This strategy used to be very popular before the graveyard. It was the Zap Fortress strategy. You bring all lightning spells, then this army composition, and just you'd wait for the Flying Fortress to tank for your balloons, and then you'd send in the balloons and take out the air bombs or the air defenses or the rapid rockets. We shall see if it makes a comeback. Sometimes there is a lot of zap value on bases, but the graveyard is still very, very powerful on weaker bases. So we're starting to get towards the tail end of the attack. Just that last pack of balloons, and then the Flying Fortress and a few skeletons remain. So we've got a pack of skeletons on the right hand side. I'm going to try and take out that Tesla. They take out the trash building first, and then the Flying Fortress goes down, and all the skeletons go flying everywhere. But we're still able to pull away with almost 4,000 loot. It's kind of crazy. So if you have a Skeleton Park or a Capital Peak available to hit in the raid weekend, it might be worth it to check it out and see if you can get some nice loot. But I hope this video was helpful. Got some more good ones on the way. And if you want to help me out, you can subscribe and like the video. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. And there should be a couple more videos on the screen if you want to check them out. Thanks for watching. Take care.